Hello class 10 students, we are back. I hope that your PT1 are now over and you're ready to start from scratch with me. Hope I am audible and visible to all the students watching me right now. Welcome on the platform Diksha Vedantu. Just let me know, bacha. Everything is fine with the video so that we can proceed with the session. Wait, let me. Your PT1 are now over and you're ready to start from scratch with. Okay, so now the volume from here will not be duplicated. Everything is okay. Hi Asmita, how are you, bacha? PT1 over, exams over. Ready to start? Great. Okay. Hi beta, hi. How are you? How's your studies going on? How is your preparation going on? Any issue with SST? Just wait, let me just fix things up. Okay, fine. I'm good, ma'am. How are you, ma'am? I'm also good, beta. I'm very good. I'm doing great. Okay, chalo. So, the agenda for the day is to complete 2 chapters. However, I know that 2 chapters are so lengthy and one of the important part of our SST preparation or weightage. What I consider at that these 2 chapters carry 15 to 20% of the weightage of the exam. I believe that. Map work is also there, long answers questions are also there. So we will be studying these in detail today. I have not bought for you the MCQ series here because I want you to study now. Okay, we are done with the PT1 and everyone, I hope that every one of you have scored very nicely in your PT1 exams, and now it is the high time, beta. Gradually, topic by topic, right? One by one, we need to complete our preparation in a point of view that we are preparing for our final examinations. We are preparing for our final examination. So you can share the link with the friends and all your friends so that all that they can come here and let's start studying. Okay, so students, master history, as you can see on the board, this is not only the one series that is going to be like in the list, rather we will be bringing master geography, master civics, master economics to later, right? I just want to know that you guys are interested to study away or not. Topic for the day is Rise of Nationalism in Europe and Nationalism in India. We are going to study entire topics in detail. I personally feel that now it is the high time you should bring your doubts, ask the question, ma'am explain this, ma'am explain that, tell this in detail. Okay, so that we can discuss it in today's live session. Okay, I'm starting here with some of the important topics, that is Rise of Nationalism in Europe, important topic. French revolutionaries. Acha, wait, just a second. Just a second. Okay. Fine. Okay. Some of the important topics that I have listed here are these. So the important topics from the chapter Rise of Nationalism in Europe are French revolutionaries and the rise of nationalism. First thing, that is the first question that come in your exam, right? Then we have Napoleonic Code. The important topic next is liberal nationalism. Fourth is Frankfurt Parliament, unification of Germany, unification of Italy, strange case of Britain, and we will end it with Balkan crisis because I know that is going to become as a doubt and I get it from Asmita, ma'am. I have a doubt with Balkanian problem. Okay, we will solve the Balkanian problem today. Your problem will be sorted in today's video, today's live. But what happens now? Just a second. Okay, fine. Hi, hello to everyone. We will start with the first topic of the day. We are going to start with the very first topic of the day. And what is the first topic? That is Rise of Nationalism. Okay? Wait, what is issue? I am not. Okay, so the first topic here is what? first topic here is rise of nationalism in Europe. ठीक है, rise of nationalism. ठीक, this rise of nationalism among the people of French. Very first question that come in your exam as the most important one is, how did the feeling of nationalism rose among the French revolutionaries? Okay, hi Joy, hi Mr. Winter, how are you? So now coming to the point, देखो बेटा, this come as a 5-marker question. This come as a 5-marker question. Meanwhile, all the student who have any doubt in this chapter, please bring your doubts, as Asmita just told me that she has a doubt in Balkanian problem. This video is, this particular live is bought in point of view that all of you know this chapter very nicely in theory, right? I would have come with MCQ questions and then ended up knowing nothing in your mind. That can also be an agenda, but today's agenda is not the same. Okay, can you speak out my name? Arin Joy, how are you, Arin? So beta, what happens now? You guys remember that in 1789, okay? In 1789, there was French Revolution, because the same you studied in class 9. But what made the people of France to come together? To come together with the feeling of nationalism, that is also an important thing. Very important thing, right? So how did they bring that feeling of nationalism? There are certain pointers which come for how many marks? 5 marks. First of all, the first point is that the ideas of what? The ideas of la patrie. ठीक है? The ideas of la patrie and les citoyens, okay, and les citoyens were popularized. Why they were popularized, or they were emphasized? Beta, why they were emphasized? So that it can bring unity among all the people, yeah, or unity among the nation, right? Before knowing this, let me make you understand that what does this word la patrie and what does this word les citoyens means. La patrie here means the fatherland, and les citoyens here means that we are the we are the citizens. We are the citizen of which place? We are the citizen of this fatherland, and hence we have a united community. So a feeling of united or nationalism emerged with the ideas that popularized as la patrie and les citoyens. Very easy one. Okay, ma'am, today only I completed the exam of this and I saw your video which you have put 10 months ago, and I make it sent him. Thank you so much. Arey, that's great. That's very nice to hear this, beta. I hope that my lectures are going to be super helpful for you. In case you need something new from my side, please just pin me there. I will be there making it possible for you. Yes, you can ask your doubt from the geography chapter 1. If it is possible to just complete it in small time, I will be doing that. They made their own hymns and took oaths, the fatherland and citoyen. Very correct, bacha. The second point is that they introduced a new tricolor flag. Okay. They introduced new tricolor flag, and this tricolor flag replaced the flag of what? The royal standard flag, the flag that was of the king Louis XVI previously. So see, whenever we see the Indian flag, don't you feel goosebumps? Yes, we do. Don't we feel the feeling of like nationalism grew after seeing that Bharat Mata or the national flag? Yes, it happens. Like now the 15th August is going to come and you will feel a different energy on that day. This happens because of those things, right? Then we have seen that there were new hymns that were composed, right? New hymns composed. There was oath taken, as well as martyrs who lost their life fighting for the nation were commemorated. Okay, commemorated. So basically what is going on here? They are building the feeling of unitedness, or they are building the feeling of togetherness here. ठीक है? The next is beta. Now to bring the system of unity, what they have to do is to bring the centralized administrative system. Okay, what bacha? Centralized administrative system, which means that there should be uniform laws for everyone. By uniform laws, I mean that there should be unit of measurement which is same for the nation, laws made for the same for the nation, currency to be same for the nation, and many more like that. ठीक है, to bring more unitedness, what they have done beta, they restricted, or what we can say, they abolished, right, abolished what, tariff barriers, ठीक है, they abolished the tariff barriers, the taxes that were collected from one region to another. To bring more unity, they promoted one language, and what was that beta, that was French language, and discouraged the use of the regional language. These are the important pointers that we need to remember from this topic today. Okay, get it? They made their own hymns. Yes, Asmita, correct. Tricolor flag was introduced. Very good. Very bad, ma'am. Why, beta? What is bad in that? Can you please tell? Nothing is going here, beta. A lot of thing is going here. You need to watch and understand what is going here. Before commenting, I would suggest that. Ma'am, I'm in Delhi tonight at... Acha, okay. You started again. Oh my God. Hi and hello to everyone. So this is the first topic which I consider to be the most important from this chapter, which is the chapter Rise of Nationalism in Europe. Okay, the second topic what we have to complete from this chapter is Napoleonic Code. Napoleonic Code. Let me see in the comment section who know that what is the other name of Napoleonic Code and when was it published? When was it published or when was it framed? So please tell me the name and the year. Meanwhile, I am introducing you about the Napoleon. So beta, class 9th again. The last line of the chapter French Revolution was the coming of Napoleon as a dictator to the country. So he no doubt destroyed democracy, right? Beta, he no doubt destroyed democracy, but he introduced very good administrative, what we can say, changes to the country. Changes that actually were in the favor of common people, some about. Not 100%, but yes, some percent. Right? What happened now, beta? There is a huge difference between the rulers in the French territory, like the Bourbon dynasty and etc., which were considered as absolute monarch. I'm not saying that Napoleon was a democratic person, but yes, he brought some positive administrative changes. He brought beta what? Positive administrative changes, and I got one answer here that this is known as Civil Code of 1804. Civil Code of 1804, right? Again this question either come for 5 marks, okay, or it comes for 3 marks. Either come for 5 marks or it comes for 3 marks. Then what was Napoleonic Code? Can anyone tell me the first thing? Right? The first thing what it did was to abolish, right? Abolish beta what? Can anyone tell me? Abolish which type of systems? Fast, quick. What is your name? Hey Swati, where are you from? What is going on here? Just a second, I'm coming back, huh? Okay, coming back here. Fine. So, first thing that he abolished was the feudal system. Okay? Abolished the feudal system. I'll explain you what actually feudal system is. Right? By abolishing this feudal system, what he bought was and establish. Okay? And establish what, bacha? Establish equality before the law. And establish equality before the law. Okay? Before the law. First thing. The next thing is that he also gave one more thing, that is right to property. Right to property. You will understand it once you get to know about what feudal system. But what happened in the European society? Now, European society was also divided into like nobles who were the king and their surrounding people. There were the people who belonged to church, and there were the common people who were not that treated very equal in the society. Now what happened? This was a land. Okay? This was a land, and not everyone had the right to hold this land. Rather, there was certain class in the Europe who were having the right to hold these lands. Now what happened? The people who were having the land become what? Feudal lords. They become what, beta? Feudal lords. And now you believe that these feudal lords are going to till the land? Are they going to grow the crops? Not at all. So they are not going to grow the crops, then they will hire the serf. That means the people who are being asked to work on their field, right? In a view that they will be even paying the feudal lords for providing them the land to work on them, and even keep the crops too. This was the agenda. Don't you feel this feudal system is quite, what we can say, discriminating, exploitative in nature? Yes. So what happened na beta? What happened? They abolished feudal system. Napoleon, when came in power, first thing he did was to abolish the feudal system, establish equality before law, and gave everyone the right to hold property. Okay? The first thing is that by this you can clearly understand he wanted to establish social equality. He wanted to establish what, bacha? Social equality. Next thing, the second point is that by Napoleon came into the power with the view that he wanted to export his power. Export is what? Power. He wanted to rule the entire Europe. So basically he exported his, right? He exported his court to the region where he came into power, like Switzerland, Italy, Germany, and many more regions. Now what happened, beta? Such a large empire. To rule that large empire, what he need to do is to provide a good administrative setup. So yes, he centralized what, my dear student? He centralized the administration. He centralized the administration. How he centralized the administration? By abolishing feudal system. Okay? By abolishing feudal system, as well as he freed the serfdom, right? He freed the people who were working as serf, and even freed them from their manorial dues that was about to pay to the lord. The second thing, this was done. By now what happened? He need to expand. He need to expand his power. He need to expand his region. What he need to do is next thing. Okay? Next thing, beta, what was there na? There were trade guild restrictions. Let me tell you what happened in a region. There were certain guilds. Now what is guild? Group of people who were trading in certain commodities and products and not allowing others to do so. So it was not economic equality, economic freedom at that time. So Napoleon came into power and said that you need to abolish this what, beta? Trade guild restrictions, right? Trade guild restrictions, so that everyone have the right to do those trade. Acha, when trade will be increased, what do you think that transportation and communication needs to be increased? Yes. This is the next thing what Napoleon did was to improve the transport as well as communication. Improve the transport as well as communication. So this is what is known as Napoleonic Code of, right? This is what is known as Napoleonic Code of what, my dear students? 1804. Acha, if I ask you one question, right? What was the limitation of Napoleon? Like everyone welcomed Napoleon in the beginning. But what happened lately? Not everyone enjoyed the power because he provided social equality. He provided economic equality. Question to my students right now is what he did not provide it. Quick, I want your answers. Hi to everyone who joined me while I was not seeing those comments of yours. So let me see and filter. Okay, hello to every student. Anand, hello beta. Hello Bhavika, how are you? Okay, tell me. He provided social and economic right, but what is the one thing that he did not give to the people at that time? I want that answer. And one more thing to all the students, beta. Any doubt from the chapter that is nationalism in India and rise of nationalism in Europe is going to be entertained in this session. Just type it. I'm going to explain it. How can you be here to explain it? So I will be the one who is explaining it. Tell me, which is the next topic you wish to study right now? So two topics that I just told you is the French Revolutionary wala part. Second important topic that comes from this chapter is Napoleonic wala part. Exactly, Vinayak, it is the political rights he did not give because he is actually a dictator. He is not the leader who is chosen by the people. Okay, exactly the point is, so he gave liberalism. Basically liberalism is what? Freedom. But which type of freedom he just gave is social as well as economic, and no political freedom was provided during his reign. Getting my point? Very good. Okay, so I'm expecting doubts from you which are actually not coming, but still. The next one here is what the topic that came into my mind is liberalism, right? Basically, beta, the chapter's important topic is liberal nationalism. What is the important topic? That is liberal nationalism. What is the topic? Liberal nationalism. Do you know that from where does this word liberal comes? Do you actually know about that? Beta, this liberal word comes from a Latin word that is liber. Okay, Latin word that is liber, which actually means freedom. Which actually means what, bacha? Freedom. You know how the question comes in your exams. Are you guys aware about that? The question comes in a manner that what actually the word liberal nationalism stands for, and please elaborate it on the basis of 3 parameters. And what are those parameters? First is about social liberalism. Okay? First is about what? Social liberalism. Fine, bhai, kar lete hain. The second is about what? The second is about political liberalism. Fine, political liberalism, basically it means freedom, right? And the third one here is economic liberalism. These are the 3 parameters, and according to this, a 5-marker question again come liberalism. RA somewhere I ate. Liberalism. ठीक है भाई. So, social, political and economic liberalism. Okay, ma'am, I have a doubt. Yes, please ask your doubt. Okay, I can't understand the romanticism and other 3 in this chapter. Fine. Romanticism topic added in the list, Vinayak. You have to just be in the class for understanding that. Okay, I can't understand. Fine, fine, fine. Get it. So, the next topic will be romanticism. Okay, but that does not mean that you will be leaving the class. You will be here until you clear all your doubts from the chapter from Europe and as well as India. Fine, getting my point? Great. Great to see you all here. Now coming to the liberalism part 1 wala factor, that is social liberalism. By in society, what freedom do we need? We need the freedom that we are equal in the society like everyone. Basically, the first thing that we want is freedom of all individual. Okay, freedom of all individual. This is what is known as social liberalism, right? The second thing here is beta, that everyone should be equal before the law. So there should be equality before the law. No one should be like, there should be no discrimination on the basis of caste as well as the class which was existing in Europe. Not caste, but actually the class was, the discrimination was there. When I talk about political liberalism, bhai, what do we want in terms of politics? That the government, right? That the government who is ruling us, right, should be chosen by the people. So there should be government by the consent. Okay, government by the consent. Basically, there should be a constitution. Okay, the constitution that is made by the representatives of the people and the monarch, right? And the monarch should work according to this constitution. This is known as political liberalism. Okay? When I talk about economic liberalism, we wanted freedom. There were a lot of restrictions. First is to abolish what? Abolish those state-imposed restrictions. Those state-imposed restrictions, a very, very, very good example is given in the book. What is that? That a merchant is traveling from Nuremberg to Luxembourg. You know that is a German region actually. Ruled by a single, what we can say, kingdom. What happened when a person is moving from one place to another? 11 times he is paying the custom barriers, and that to 5% a single time. By the product he was carrying will be 55% expensive when it reached the final destination. And crazy, this is not beneficial for the common people, and hence this is very, very important. What is important? To abolish state-imposed restrictions. Get it? Now, will you be able to write a 5-marker question in your exam? I need a thumbs up for this, right? Quickly, I need a thumbs up for this particular topic, that yes, ma'am, we are going to rock it in exam. Okay, now here comes a doubt from one of my student, that is Vinayak. Okay, Vinayak, so we are going to study about a topic that is romantic imagination. Romantic imagination, or which is also popularly known as romanticism. ठीक है, romanticism. See, understand it in a very easiest way possible. I'm going to do that for you. Basically, what is romanticism or romantic imagination? An imagination in which you are thinking about something you love. Right? Here it is nation. Do not go here and there. Here it is what? Nation. So basically, the way you show your love towards a nation is known as romanticism. ठीक है? But whenever we love something, we don't think about reason, rationality, anything, science behind it. Okay, so romanticism is basically a feeling of love towards a nation when you don't feel any science, rationality, reason behind it. Nahi bhai. Then it is based upon feelings. It is based upon mystic intuitions. Okay, it is based upon emotions. This feeling is known as what? Romantic imagination. You know how the question actually come from this topic? The question actually come from this topic in a way. Explain how culture played an important role. Okay, how culture played an important role in raising what, my dear students? In raising nationalist sentiments. Okay, in raising nationalist sentiments. This is actually the question that comes in exams. And how many marks this contain? This consists of 3 marks. Now you might be thinking, ma'am, the question is about romantic imagination and from where the culture came. Beta, whenever you need to show your love to something, how do you do that? By singing, by dancing, by writing poem, etc, etc, etc. Right? So basically, here, culture is the part of it, right? I will give you 3 examples that beautifully justifies that culture played an important role in raising nationalist sentiments. The first example is from a German philosopher. Okay, German philosopher. ठीक है बेटा? Who was he? The name was Johann Gottfried Herder. The name was Johann Gottfried Herder. Bachcha, he believed that, see, German nations were divided into blocks. Germany wanted to be a united nation. How to raise that feeling? He believed that the common identity or unity feeling can come from the common people, and he even referred that common people as Das Volk. And hence Volkswagen, actually it's Volkswagen. How did it come? Because it is people's car. So their Volk or folk is basically the common people of that particular place. And he believed that the common people, by singing, by dancing, can bring out the feeling of nationalism among them. Okay, the next here is the example of a person, that is Karol Kurpinski. Okay, Karol Kurpinski. But Karol, what he did? So he belonged to Poland. In Poland, what he did, he organized operas, right? He organized operas, and there, with the help of music as well as dance, the certain dances are being written, mazurka and all, right? If you remember. So Karol Kurpinski raised those feeling of what? Nationalism among the common people. The third example we can write about Greece. Do you guys remember? Right? So Greece was the part of Ottoman Empire, and later what happened? Later it got independent from the Ottoman Empire. How? By placing culture as its deep root, that by we are the cradle of European civilization. People considered it is the cradle of European civilization, and there were a lot of poets supporting that particularly. As a result, what happened? By Treaty of Constantinople, what happened, beta? It became a separate nation. Don't you feel that yes, culture played an important role in raising nationalist sentiments? Tell me the answer right now. Ma'am, I can't understand the revolutionaries and conservatism. Okay, fake and draw. Let's talk about this too. Ma'am, will you suggest Vedantu's Challenge 100 book? Actually, I'm not aware about this particular thing, but yes, I can explain you about revolutionaries and conservatism. Beta, revolutionaries and conservatism, basically, conservatives are those who have an ideology. Okay? And what is that ideology? That is conservatism. Basically, these are the people, right, who believe in old social order. Okay? Who believe in what? Old social order. And what was that old social order? That there should be an absolute king. That means the power should lie in the hand of monarch only. No power should be given to the people. And this monarch should be hereditary. The son can become the king. The son can become the king. That's it. First thing. The second thing is that there should be division in the society. Okay? Not everyone, division of society, not everyone should be treated equally. Now, whenever the king has the absolute power, some of the people lies in the upper areas, or what we can say upper layer of the society. Who is affected? Beta, common people are affected. What happens when we keep on pressurizing the pressure cooker whistle out? So, who whistles out? Basically, the people who want to bring the change in this type of society are known as revolutionaries. Who wanted to bring in the change in this type of society are known as revolutionaries. And one of the great example is Giuseppe Mazzini. Okay, Giuseppe Mazzini, who was an Italian revolutionary. Who was he? He was an Italian revolutionary. Just give me a thumbs up by both the topic, as it was, one was asked by Vinayak. Vinayak, are you okay with romanticism and the culture wala part? And fake and draw, are you like clear with this conservatism and revolutionaries? Please let me know in the comment section. Give me a thumbs up so that I can understand and then move beyond in the session. Sorry for this. Chalo, tell me about this. Okay, please just confirm me that. Yes, ma'am. Okay, fine, great. So, now moving towards the next important topic from the same chapter. And what is the chapter we are going with? Rise of Nationalism in Europe. Beta, I'm still expecting that if you guys have any doubt, please, let's have an interactive session. Let's discuss and clear all your doubts from this chapter. Okay, let's master history from class 10 today. So, the next topic, important topic which I consider in the list is, it is beta Frankfurt Parliament, right? It is what? Frankfurt Parliament. Okay, how many of you want to study this? Let's vote. Frankfurt Parliament. But what happened? The name is interesting. Frankfurt, the city, is also interesting in Germany. But what happened in this Frankfurt Parliament is actually interesting by these German people. Right? German people were seeing French people, arey yaar, they are like always doing revolutions, getting something in response, but we eventually end up with nothing. Let us do it. So what happened na? When France sneezes, the rest of Europe catches cold. Do you hear this statement? Anyone who can tell me who proclaimed this statement? When France sneezes, the rest of Europe catches cold, and here Germany catches cold in the year 1848. What happened by? On 18th of May, 1848, 831 people started procession. Why? Let me tell you, beta. So this Frankfurt Parliament was convened by, right? It was convened by, who convened? Who were the participant? First of all, we will study this. Who were the participant? Let's ask all the WH questions to other question. So, beta, here the middle class participants came together. Right? Here the middle class participants came together that what we are going to do. Who are the middle class participants? The professionals, the businessmen, the big artisans, the landlords, etc. Okay? So what happened, beta? Those middle class participants came together demanding that let us make the constitution for the German region so that the monarch is responsible to what? Constitution. ठीक है, what we are going to do is बच्चा, we will make the constitution for the German nation. Okay, when did this happen? Let me tell you that beta, 831 members on 18th of May 1848 grouped together. ठीक है, grouped together and they started a procession. Basically the jhanki or the julus that we used to see, political rallies and all. So it was a type of rally that reached to Frankfurt. Okay, here in Frankfurt there was a church of St. Paul. All the people went there and gathered over here and raised the concern that we will be making a constituent assembly. Okay, we will be making what? Constituent assembly that will frame the constitution for the nation. Arey bhai, very good, going good, all is going smooth. But eventually, you know that what happened? This Frankfurt parliament just failed. Why so? Okay, again, one more question that comes from this topic is, what are the 3 reasons why did Frankfurt parliament fail? Because the first point is that, okay, they went to the ruler of Prussia. Okay, they went to the ruler of Prussia, Frederick Wilhelm, that will you become the constitutional monarch? Frederick Wilhelm said that, am I mad? What do you find me? What do you consider me? Am I mad? No, bhai. I am not going to be responsible to your constitution. I want to be in the league of the absolute monarch. Why will I risk my powers? For obvious first point. The second point is that, beta, this particular Frankfurt parliament was dominated by middle class participants. Okay, they were dominated by middle class participants, and then what happened? The demands, right? Demands of the local people, the demands of small, what we can say, workers, okay, or what we can say, artisans, or small farmers were not at all entertained by those middle class people. The second reason of failure. The third and the very important was about women. The women who are participating in all the revolutionary activities, all the procession, every time they are supporting when men are going to the war, what happened? They were merely treated as observers and none of the demand were kept forward in the favor of women. So they were aware that if constitution is going to be made also, we are the one not going to be favored by this. Tell me, is the topic Frankfurt Parliament crystal clear to all the students watching me right now? When France sneezes, the rest of Europe catches cold. Why this phrase come? Okay, fake. Arey yaar, how can I call your name? You have written here fake. Beta, why did it came? Because let me tell you, see, 1789, France was the first country made the revolution. Started the revolution. Then the other nations again became motivated by France. 1830, France started revolution. Other nation did the same. Okay? So who gave the statement? The statement is given by Duke Metternich, the then Chancellor of Austria. Arey bhai, this France start the revolution, the other get motivated. So when France sneezes, the rest of Europe catches cold. I hope now the statement is clear to you. Okay, thank you Ankush for telling me that. Okay, clear. My name is Sam. Okay, Sam. Fine, get it. Chalo. So I believe that this Frankfurt Parliament wala topic is also done and dusted. Not dusted by, don't dust it from your mind. I'm putting my efforts and done and dusted. No, not dusted. Right? Okay, what should we pick the next topic? Next topic from this chapter. However, the 4 next topics are very, very important. And what are those important topics? First is unification of Germany, unification of Italy, Balkan crisis, strange case of Britain. Tell me which one you are going to learn first. Okay, let's vote. Let me see that which of the topic you want the first to be described here. Voting time, bhai. Okay, you are teaching too nice, ma'am. Thank you for the compliment, beta. I just recently got one complimented very ugly teaching. So you come here and balanced something. Can you tell and explain about the unification of Italy and Germany? Yes, that's in the row. We are just voting which topic you need to learn the first. Okay, anyone? Fine. So here I got the demand of the topics, that is, what is the topics? Unification of Germany and Italy. Which one to do first? Think about it and tell me. Let's do it. Unification of Germany, Italy, strange case of Britain, or Balkan crisis. The more votes I get, the first I am going to teach it. No one, na? Not interested. Ma'am, don't teach. I don't want to see the comments like that. Okay, so I'm waiting. Otherwise, I will pick the topic of my choice. However, the choice is among only 4 of them. Unification of Italy, unification of Germany, Balkan crisis, and then we have what? Strange case of Britain. Okay, so let's go with Italy. Fine. So let's start with what? Unification of Italy first. Beta, now this is what? Unification of Italy. Unification of Italy. Achha, by the way, now you guys have any exams that are going to be conducted in near future, so that we can plan it likewise. Okay, Ankush is like with Great Britain. Beta, done. Great Britain is also something we are going to do. Okay, Rishabh, thank you, thanks a lot. Okay, come on, let's now do unification of Italy. Beta, what happened now? Like, I am just drawing a very rough map of Italy, because I know that I am not very accurate about drawing the correct map. So somewhere Italy is like this. When you will start studying about Italy na, you will understand that the first thing is that beta, Italy was, right? The Italy you see today was not actually present at that time. Then what was the case? Italy was politically fragmented, obviously, by, right? Politically fragmented. How it was fragmented? Beta, it was fragmented into 7 states, 7 different states. How, ma'am? Please explain. Yes, I will explain. So it was politically fragmented into different regions. For example, this wala part. Okay, which wala part? This wala part. This was referred as Sardinia Piedmont. Okay, this was referred as Sardinia Piedmont. Beta, this was ruled by, right, the only Italian person in the entire Italy region. Right, this was ruled by beta the Italian princely houses. It was ruled by Italian princely rulers. Only Italian person. Okay. Now what happened? This particular part, okay, this particular part which was referred as Lombardy, and this one was referred as Venetia. Like what happened before India became India? What happened? There were Marathas ruling over there. There were Mughal ruling over there. Different Rajputs ruling. Similarly, Italy was divided into, politically fragmented into 7 states. Right, like Sardinia, Piedmont ruled by Italian princely house, Lombardy and Venetia ruled by Austrian forces. It was ruled by Austrian forces. Let me tell you, this south wala part, okay, which was referred as South Sicily. Yes, the Sicily from where the pasta came, right? So, okay, I somewhere remember that dialogue of a movie, pasta wala. So, South Sicily, right? Now, who was ruling here, South Sicily? The Bourbon dynasty. The Bourbon dynasty. If you are thinking the Bourbon dynasty of France, no, it was not even capable to rule France. So, the same dynasty can't come here. Basically, this was from Spain, Bourbon dynasty of Spain. Like Mughals were ruling in India as well as in Persia. Similarly, Spain also as well as in France also. Here, the middle part where Rome lies, the beautiful city, was under the hands of, like in the hands of Pope. Okay? This was how politically what was divided by Italy was divided. Now comes in picture certain leaders who have important role in unifying Italy. Who are those? The first among them is beta Giuseppe Mazzini. Okay, Giuseppe Mazzini. Giuseppe it is pronounced basically Giuseppe Mazzini. Now who is he? Let me tell you beta, Giuseppe Mazzini is a revolutionary. First of all, who is he? He is a revolutionary. He was born in Genoa and he was the first person who can consider to be as a dreamer. Right? Dreamer who saw the dream that once Italy will be united. Basically, he had a dream to form what? United Italian Republic. To form bacha United Italian Republic. How did he do so? You know, he made certain secret societies, even arrested and sent to exile at the age of 24. After that, he formed societies like Young Italy, Young Europe, and many more like that. So he was a dreamer. But he started revolutions in 1828, 1831, eventually failed. Now, as he failed, who is basically the person who is Italian, with Italian origin? That king, you know that now these responsibility fell into the hand of Victor Emmanuel II. Okay, this fell into the hand of Victor Emmanuel II, who was the king of this Sardinia Piedmont, Italian princely house. But all the time those kings need support. Yes, they need support, and here in support came in picture Count de Cavour. Right, Count de Cavour. Who was he, bhai? Was he a revolutionary? No. Was he a democrat? No. Then who is he? He is basically a person, right, who has very good diplomatic skills, right, who has very good diplomatic skills, basically have brain, which rulers at that time were not having. So yes, Count de Cavour is a person, Cavour, who has mind, right? He made what? With the help of his skills. He was not a revolutionary nor a democrat. You know, he speaks language French better than Italy. Even he was not aware about Italy that much. So because French was the language of all those high class people, and he was one among them. With the help of his diplomatic alliances, right, he sent his army to the Austrian forces and won this area of Austria, and this is how this part became united, the first part. And when was it? It was in the year 1859. Done? Very good, bhai. Done. The first part is done. Now let's move beyond it. Now comes in picture the second Giuseppe. Right, here it is Giuseppe Mazzini. Arey nahi bhai, Giuseppe Garibaldi. What it is? Giuseppe Garibaldi. Right? Were they brothers? Not at all. Right? Only relation between them is that when Mazzini formed those secret society, he was also the part of it. Now this person is considered to be the person who is behind the war, who is actually the person who made Italy a united like nation. How? Right? He made his army prepared, and his army was known as Red Shirts. What was his army known as? Red Shirts. He took his army to the south wala part known as South Sicily. You know that there the slogans were raised La Italia, and people were so illiterate. Why? This Bourbon dynasty just made this generation spoiled, that people were so illiterate, they were not even understanding La Italia. They were considering that it is wife of Victor Emmanuel II. Think about this. So what happened? He took his army and defeated this, defeated the Bourbon dynasty of Spain in 1860. Beta, in 1861, do remember this. In 1861, what was proclaimed as a united nation? Italy was proclaimed as a united nation, and it becomes unified. When did unification of Italy took place? It was in 1861. Who became the first emperor of United Italy? Victor Emmanuel II. Now comes to the question, ma'am, what about them? Now, if someone was asking in between, ma'am, what is Pope? Pope is basically beta church, and here church was backed up by France. In book, the story regarding Pope is not given. Let me tell you that, beta, here after some time when France was correspondingly, this time only they were fighting with Germany also and could not manage to find at both places. They themselves left this place, and it was also after some time became the part of Italy. Okay? But you need not to write that in exam because NCERT does not have it. When did Italy become united? 1861. Who became the emperor? Victor Emmanuel II. Three people who have the role: Mazzini, Cavour, as well as Garibaldi. Okay? Frame the 5-marker question in a way. Now tell me, is it clear? Give me a thumbs up. I have nationalism in Europe test, ma'am. Okay, then you can please ask any doubt, whatever you have. Can you give me some tip? Okay, can you detail about the unification of Italy? So Italy is done, Germany is left, we will study about that. Beta, tip is just that I wish that you read NCERT. I just hope that you read NCERT. And if not, let me tell you what you can do at the last moment is basically pick up those important topics from the book, read them nicely. Second thing is to solve the NCERT questions as priority. Okay? Can you please tell me when is your exam? If there will be days, I will ask you to read the NCERT then. Otherwise, we will think about it in some another way. Okay, done with this. Voting for Germany. Voting for Germany. Which one to study? Germany or Britain? Tell me. क्या पढ़ें आज? Next, unification of Germany or strange case of Britain versus. Let's please let me know which one to study first. Which one? Italy, done. Germany or strange case of Britain? Germany. You will study everything, by the way. Okay, let's go with Germany then. Germany. Did you guys watch that movie? Bhagam Bhag, right? Is it? I think it's that. Germany. Chalo. So, now it is unification of what? Unification of Germany. Unification of Germany. ठीक है भाई. Fine. Let's start the story. So, Napoleon came into power. This Napoleon divided the German states into 39 confederacies. What is confederacy? Different region ruled by the same family group. ठीक है? Ruled by the same group of families, but have different regions, different. What happened when any even good was like transported from one place to another? They themselves were importing applying custom duties on that, and this was the part. Hi to everyone. Hi Abhinay. Hi Mysterious. I don't know what to pronounce you. Hi. Hello to everyone. So we are going with the topic unification of Germany. I was telling that it was the result of Napoleon that it was transformed into 39 different confederacy states. However, the one common thing that united them was their culture and their language, German language for obvious. But they tried to unite for a lot of times, right? For a lot of times they tried to unite themselves. The first thing that they did was in 1824, they made the custom union, right? What was the objective? To unite themselves economically. Then again they came together in Frankfurt Parliament. Again they tried to unite. They failed. We just saw that, right? Now they will come back and unite what? Germany. I'm extremely sorry, ma'am. I went to take my lunch. It's okay, Asmita. Fine. Lunch this time now. What is this timing, by the way? Hi, ma'am. Hi, selfie lover. Hi, Abhinay. I'm good, Abhinay. How are you? And how is your preparation for class 10 going on? Just let me know. Unification of Germany we were talking about. So, Frankfurt Parliament will... Third time लगेगा. So Frankfurt Parliament also failed. Okay. Now what happened, beta? Something to be done? Yes, the middle class were very fascinated by France became republic in 1848. Now what? Your teachers, science and maths teachers are not allowing me to teach. What can I do? Okay, fine. They went. So coming back to the topic, sorry for the disturbance, guys. Aisha, how are you? Hello, Aisha. So, unification of Germany by we are studying. My God, everything went from my mind seeing your maths and science teachers here. They were just, because they are going back to home, na? So they were just irritating me that you teach. We are going to enjoy our Monday. Fine, it's okay, by the way. So, let me remember what to teach. Germany, unification. Okay. Otto von Bismarck, I get it in mind. So, beta, Germany was divided into 39 different confederacies. What happened now? Frankfurt Parliament failed. When Frankfurt Parliament considered this is the German region, okay? the largest territory in this German region was Prussia. What was it? Prussia. So basically, Prussia people took the in charge over there. This time, right, Prussia came into like what we can say front, that we are going to unite, we are going to take the responsibility. The chief minister of that time in Prussia was Otto von Bismarck. You know how Otto von Bismarck is known as? He is considered as a person with blood and iron policy. He followed that blood and iron policy. Basically, he took the charge to unite Germany on the basis of war. Okay? So the war continued for 7 years. Okay, the war continued with 7 years. With how many wars were there? There were 3 wars with the countries who were ruling the German confederacies, like Austria. Okay, Austria. Then we had Denmark in this region as well as France. Okay, Austria, Denmark, and France. What happened? After this long struggle, long war of 7 years, it resulted into which victory? It resulted into Prussian victory. It resulted into Prussian victory. When? In January 1871. Pay attention to this. In January 1871. So it was in January 1871 when all those German members, including Otto von Bismarck, military, monarchy, gathered together. They gathered together where at the Hall of Versailles in the winter season, extreme winter season, and proclaimed in 1871 Germany as the United Nation. One question to all my students: who was the first monarch of Germany? The names are similar, but I hope that you know. Okay? Ma'am, give some tips to remember dates, name and events, beta. There is no tip to remember dates, events and name. Just one single thing that you have to do is to revise it again and again. See, while I am writing, while I am teaching, how I am able to recall those dates, because I am the one teaching you since years, and that is what I am doing, is recalling it every time. ठीक है? So only and only simple technique is when we study ना बेटा, film it in your mind. अच्छा ये हुआ, फिर ऐसा हुआ, okay, फिर इसने इसको मारा. Don't take history boring, right? You read a paragraph, speak it aloud in a story format, and for dates, I believe everyone forget it. Right? Write it in the sideline of the margins of the NCERT so that you read it again and again and again and again. That's the only solution. Okay, get it? Chalo, cool. I think now you will be following that. Fine. So this is how what became, Germany became beta unified. One point that I need to tell you, that every time in the starting I missed that, every time when the German middle class wanted to form the Germany, they were suppressed by, okay? They were always suppressed by whom beta? Monarchy. Obviously monarch did not wanted to unite Germany, because they know that then the people will become the power. ठीक है, as well as military, okay, by monarchy, military, as well as junkers. Now who are those junkers? Landowners, large landowners. They knew that by if particularly we gave this power to the people, what will happen? All our large lands will be taken away. So this greedy nature of these large landowners, always they suppressed these middle class peoples and the artisans as well as peasants. Okay, and this is how what became unified. Germany became unified. Give me a thumbs up if this is clear. Otherwise, how will I know that it is clear or not? And please suggest me the next topic you want to study. However, we are left with 2 topics now: strange case of Britain and Balkan from this chapter. Okay, if it will be okay if we don't start the second chapter. However, I will give you a summary about that, but I just want that everything should be crystal clear in your mind. Okay, suggest me the next topic: Britain or Balkan. Which one? Fast, quick. Thank you, Ankush. Thumbs up. Okay, Balkans or Britain? Arey, what? Don't want to study any of them, is it? Fine, then let's move. Answer. Ma'am, both topics are unclear. Okay, Ankush, we will deal with both. I was just asking which one to be studied first. Asmita is here back with Balkan crisis. Asmita, what a timing. See, you came and the topic which was in doubt for you is here. Great Britain. Fine, I can understand a little, but okay, fine, get it. So I'm proceeding first with Balkans, and then in end I will do the strange case of Britain. I think that is okay for you. We will start with the topic that is Balkans crisis. ठीक है, Balkans crisis. Beta, to understand the crisis, first we have to understand what is this Balkan. That is an important thing. So what happened? Consider again, this is the rough map of Europe. ठीक है? Okay, fine. So beta, for a longer period of time, Romans were ruling this entire region of Europe. But what happened in the 15th century? Okay, in the 15th century, this region which is known as Balkans region, okay, which is known as Balkan regions, was overtook by an empire which is referred as Ottoman Empire. Okay, Ottoman Empire. You know, they ruled from 15th century. I will tell you one interesting fact right now. Okay, stay connected. So, they ruled since 15th century Ottoman Empire over the region of Balkan. If you are not able to still visualize what is Balkan, it consists of countries right now like Serbia, Herzegovina, Greece, Macedonia, and many more neighboring countries like those, Albania and Romania, etc., etc. Okay, that is Balkan region. Okay, what happened now? What I was about to say that, beta, what happened now? This Roman people for a long period of time, because like they were easily able to move like this towards Asia and Southeast Asia, and they were trading since a long time via these land routes. But what happened? Now here comes a different dynasty, that is Ottoman dynasty in power. Ottoman dynasty is basically Muslim rulers. So eventually what happened? These two became what? These two became the not good friends of each other. You know, that is the reason. Okay, that is the reason these Romans, basically Portuguese, French, German, and many more countries like Dutch, England, now finded a route that is sea route towards India. Okay, this wala context is not in your book. This was just for your understanding. Okay, now coming back to the point. So basically, it consists of countries like Albania, Serbia, Herzegovina, Montenegro, etc., etc. The people who resides over this region of Balkan are referred as Slavs. Okay, they are referred as Slav. It is being ruled by Ottoman Empire. This Ottoman Empire is what? Muslim Empire, Islamic Empire. Fine. Since when they are ruling? Since 15th century they are ruling. Now what happened? Now what happened? The main point is, beta, this Balkan region becomes a region of serious tensions, right? Serious tensions during the time of 1870s. During the time of when? 1870s, particularly if I tell you the year, that is 1871. Why? See, here France in 1848 become republic. Okay. Here Germany in 1871 became unified, right? Then here Italy in 1861 became unified. So all the nations in the Western Europe were what? Rising with the feeling of nationalism. What happened? This feeling will flow like a river. So this feeling growing strong also reached to the Balkan region. Beta, here in the Balkan region, pay attention. Here in the Balkan region, what happened? There were people who have different ethnic what? Identities. People with ethnic variations were living here. Now all of them grew the feeling of what? Grew with the feeling of nationalism. Acha, when they grew with the feeling of nationalism, the one thing they want is nation. Getting my point? So in order to identify ठीक है, in order to identify their geographic identity. Okay, the geography, that this is my nation. Now again, everyone fights for land. By why are we fighting with our neighbor, or they fighting with us? Land only is the issue. Similarly, they started fighting for land. So all of them, right, all of them became jealous of each other, fiercely jealous of each other, and wanted beta more and more territory. Okay, they wanted more and more territory at expense of other, Now what will happen when you and your siblings are fighting, like fighting a lot, right, raising your voice over each other? What will happen? Your friends living in nearby, will they enjoy? Yes. They want to watch it? Yes. This is what happens. So here these small state in the Balkan region and fighting these big nations. Who are those big nations? Like Britain, okay, like Britain, France, right, France, and then Russia, Austria, all were enjoying it. Basically, I will not say enjoy, don't write it in exam, enjoy. But now what happened? These nations, what happened? One will support Britain, the other will support France, for obvious, because they are also rival of each other. So they started supporting, because they had the objective ki bhai yahan se na we can easily go to Asia. Okay, so we can control them. Like why? Whenever there is issue between Iraq and Iraq, USA comes, because they know that we have to control any one of them in Europe, in this particular prime geographical location of the world. So they entered. Now what happened? Series of wars started. Small war. Series of war, which eventually leads to what, beta? World War I. Now tell me, clear? If still you have doubt, then bhai, bachalo Bhagwan, because I have done it very nicely. I don't think that any one of you have still the doubt, and if in case you have, please let me know. We will do it again. Ma'am, please put live videos rather than putting premiere. Beta, we are having live videos also daily. Hi ma'am, I am new fan. First of all, thank you for this. Acha, regarding this premiere wala part, let me tell, there are two things on the channel. One is live daily by any of the teacher, be it science, SST, or be it maths, right? So we are doing that also, but apart from that, the chapters are being introduced to the channel, right? Why are we doing it as premiere? So that you sit and study without talking to anyone, without being like, what we can say, without being affected by the communications that is a part of it. So we, as that objective, premiered that. Okay, however, we are coming live also. Ma'am, फिर से explain कर दीजिए, Asmita. Okay, I'll do that again. So, what is Balkan region? Ruled by Ottoman people. Who are Ottoman people? Muslim Empire, rivals with Romans. What is this region? Albania, Serbia, and all those countries. The common people of this region is known as Slav. What happened? Serious tensions happened in the time of 1870s. Why? Because the world was raising with the feeling of nationalism. And that feeling rose among these people too. What happened? When nationalism came, they need to know their nation, they need to know the territory. Okay, in that, identifying those territories, these group of ethnic diversity started fighting with each other. Their big power, the neighbors, Britain, Russia, Austria, came into the picture, supported someone or supported the other, leads to series of war and eventually First World War. This is entire Balkan crisis. I hope now it is clear to all of you. What is the idea of conservatives? Piyush, the idea of conservative is basically to restore the social order. Okay, which social order? That old social order in which monarch is everything. All the power should lie into the hands of monarch. Monarch should be an absolute person. Absolute person, you know that? And there should be divisions in the society as noble clergy and then the other people who do not have other rights. That is conservatives. Okay, I hope now it is clear. Thank you, ma'am. Fine, welcome. Chalo. The last topic, right? Okay. So the last topic of this chapter, not live, we'll think about the other chapter also. And what is that? That is the strange case of Britain. Let's figure out how is it strange. What it is strange, ठीक है, case of Britain. Strange case of Britain. Chalo bhai, strange case of Britain. Let's learn how strange it is. Dekho, first of all, if I tell you about Britain, I will not say that I like the nation. I will personally say that, like, after being a teacher, I understand that this nation has moved very strategically, very smartly to rule the world. Right now, we are speaking in a language that was only and only spoken in an island by certain small group of people. Okay? So basically, the Great Britain, the United Kingdom, the terminologies they came from where? So basically, beta, there were group of islands. Like, there was an island where people used to speak English. Okay? And hence this came to be known as England, right? Okay. Now there was an island where people used to speak Scottish Scot as a language, right? And this was referred as Scotland. Okay? There was the region where the people speaks the language Wales, and it came to be known as Welsh. Okay? There was a region where people speaks Irish, and this was Ireland. This became Ireland. So beta, what happened na? There were group of islands, right? There were group of islands where people speak different language and they belong to different ethnic diversities. Okay? They belong to different ethnic diversities now. But what happened? Among them, right? Among them, those English people became powerful. They became powerful, right? In 1688, they formed English Parliament. Okay? In 1688, what do they form? They form English Parliament in 1688. You know that English Parliament is one of the, what we can say, powerful body in the world. Right? It is what the powerful body in the world. Getting my point? Now what happened na beta? This English Parliament tried to impose the power in the nearby regions, and first in the eye of England was Scotland. Right? So first of all, who became the target? The Scottish people became the target. Okay? Scottish people became the target. So right, as they were powerful, an act of union, right, act of union was signed between those people in 1707. Those people, I mean English people and Scottish people. Okay? English people and Scottish people here. So act of union was signed here. Fine by after act of union, what happened? They were not allowed to speak their language, right? They were not allowed to wear their national dresses. So basically, all the rights of the Scottish people were suppressed. English language was imposed on them, and a lot more thing came into picture. However, the Scottish Highlanders were there. They tried to fight against them, but they were totally suppressed. The next came in their eyes was Ireland, right? Ireland. But Ireland was a region divided into two people. They were Protestant as well as Catholics. Now, the Protestants were in minority, but what happened? The Britishers supported the Protestants and he eventually changed the picture here. You know what happened with Ireland? They forcibly, right? They forcibly incorporated Ireland in their region in 1801, right? You know, when they signed this act of union with Scotland, what do they call themselves? That now we are United Kingdom. You know from where this word came? United Kingdom. Two kingdoms emerged. Two kingdoms like formed together. So United Kingdom of Great Britain, because we are British people, right? So we are great. So United Kingdom of Great Britain comes from here. Getting my point? Now Ireland is also added in this list of united, and the same consequence was with Welsh. However, it is not given in our NCERT, but we can conclude it that to impose their English identity, right, to impose the feeling of nationalism that you are also the part of England now, what they did, beta, first of all they bought what? National flag. Okay, that was referred as Union Jack, to be unfurled in every territory. Then there was national song, okay, to bring the again common identity wali feeling. And what was that? God save our noble king, okay, save our noble king. And similarly, English language was imposed everywhere to bring the feeling of nationalism. See, the English language that was imposed in the nearby territories, now everyone is a part of it speaking. Okay, getting my point? So this was the last topic from which chapter? Rise of Nationalism in Europe. Okay, tell me, is there still any doubt from this chapter? Ma'am, I have a doubt on how did they know about the names of different language. This language is English, that language is Scottish. Beta, this is 16th century, 17th century, 18th century. There were philosophers, writers, historians, etc. So our education system was built up and the names were given to it. Like, how do we call it as Hindi? So we call it as Hindi that it comes from Sindhu se Hindu, and Hindu became Hindi. The people living there become Hindi speaking people. Similarly, somewhere there might be origin of their name also. Okay? Chalo. Okay. So done with the entire chapter, that is Rise of Nationalism in Europe. However, I came with an agenda to complete the chapter Nationalism in India too. Nationalism in India too. However, I feel that I won't be able to complete this entire chapter in some limited time, because like it took 1 hour 20 minutes to complete this chapter. We can keep it for the next session. I will come with the same topic, that is master history. Nationalism in Europe done. Those students who are regular can understand that the second chapter will be continued and you will be the part of it. Okay, first thing is that. And still, if you guys have any doubt from Europe, you can ask me in that next session. And if you guys have any test nearby, any important topic, ma'am, please explain that in 5 minutes. I am here, please ask me, I will do that. Okay, any doubt from the chapter Nationalism in India that needs to be like so urgently entertained, please ask it, we will deal it, or otherwise we will end it. How, ma'am? They communicated, beta, they traveled, the leaders met, all who were the leaders, na, they met with each other and signed that the kings are ruling, they met with each other. So this is how. Boss, you are little late, by the way, hello. Okay. When will the next session? Ankush, I can't just tell you right now, but eventually it will be in the next week. Okay, any day of the next week. Most probably it will be Monday only, like it is today. So it can be then, but still, if you have any doubt, please ask. We will do that. Okay, no issues. I'm here for 5-10 minutes if you guys have any doubts. Okay, fine. So, no doubts are here. We'll end the session for today. Meet you super soon. Acha, up till then. Ma'am, about Gottfried Herder. I told you, beta. Regarding culture, when we read the chapter, when we read the topic of romanticism, na, there is a question that always comes, how culture played an important role in raising nationalist sentiments. So there, one point is related to Johann Gottfried Herder. He was a German philosopher who believed that the real nation comes from the common people, that is das Volk. And hence he brought out folk songs, folk like dance and folk poem, etc., to raise the feeling of nationalism among the people with the help of culture. ठीक है मैम? What is the limitation of national development? What is this question? What is the limitation of national? There are a lot of limitations regarding the national development. Frame the question according to the syllabus of class 10th. Rest, I have the answer for this, but the question is not about the curriculum. Please just make me understand. And what do you need to ask? I'm not able to understand this. Limitations of national development, there are a lot. Like incapabilities of government, incapabilities of people to understand, illiteracy, many more. About the case of Poland and nationalism, Asmita, case of Poland is important. From there, the question comes like this: how language play an important role in raising national sentiments. So when this question comes, how language play an important role, only and only you need to talk about Poland. That by Poland went into Russian domination because of the Treaty of Vienna. Okay? And what happened? The Russian people actually dominated by suppressing their language and applying on them the Russian language, right? In the schools, in the university, in the church gathering, everyone, they were asked to do what? Speak the Russian language. But this Polish people, right, showed resistance. They resisted that we are not going to do so by speaking the Polish language in the church gathering. When they did not, the Pope and the church leaders were arrested and sent to exile in the coldest place possible. And this was the situation of them, right? So yes, how language played an important role in raising nationalist sentiments. So this was all about for today. Okay, limitations of civil disobedience. Beta, we have two limitations of civil disobedience movement. One is participation of Muslims and the participation of untouchables. We know both with different pointers did not participated in the civil disobedience movement. Muslims rising their demands regarding the proportional representation in the point of population, in proportion to their population. However, untouchables with the point of view that they will not be treated as equal and they want separate electorate as demanded by the representatives of the untouchables, that was Dr. B.R. Ambedkar ji. Okay? So this is the difference and why they did not participated. What was the policy adopted by Otto von Bismarck for German unification? Question from the book. Beta, you just need to tell about that policy of war. That war was opted as a policy for German unification, right? And tell about that, what is written in book. See, the questions do not come straightforward. They are jalebi questions, but actually they are asking from where? From the book itself. So do not get diverted whenever the topic is or the question is jalebi question. Getting my point, Ankush? Fine. Chalo. Okay, done for the day, yaar. How to write the answers for 3 marks? A lot of questions today. Beta, whenever you have to write the answer for 3 marks, okay? Whenever you have to write the answer for 3 marks, please write with an intro. Like for an example, 3 steps for the conservation of land degradation. Okay, how can we conserve the land? Bhaiya, we can conserve the land in the following ways. I need an intro every time you write the answer. With 3 accurate points. With 3 accurate points. No paragraph, no kahani, no storytelling. 3 accurate points that are different from each other. That's how you can write a 3-marker question. Okay? That's how you can write what? A 3-marker question. Tell me now, is it done? Give me a thumbs up. Yes, ma'am, you can leave now. Okay. Hello, Maam. Who is Maam here? Fine. We will meet in the next session. Stay connected. Watch all my videos. And one thing that I need to share with you is very, very important. You have to wait for a minute for that. And that is one of the important feature, right? That is one of the important feature we have on the platform of Vedantu. And this is it. Okay, beta, what is this? Let us please understand about it. This is an page that is actually made for all the students of mine. all the students of Vedantu, all the students who love learning from us, because you guys struggling with one thing, that is schedule. Ma'am, when are you coming live next? Ma'am, when will be the classes? What will be the classes? Because on YouTube we have a limited sphere that we can schedule the live but not the recorded sessions and all and all. So beta, this is basically the course, okay, where you will be taught by teachers, Tanvi Ma'am obviously for SST, Sonu Sir for Maths, Aditi Ma'am for Science. Here in this, what you can do is, beta, you can just buy it for 0 rupees. Yes, you can just buy it for 0 rupees. When you buy now, you explore it. What you can get is the schedule. Every schedule that bhai on, see, social science schedule, power sharing done on 14th July. The next schedule, I recorded the session for water resource. Actually, these are the information for YouTube, but a well planned information, and here only you can get the video so that you don't need to see those ads in between. Okay, the session PDF which you are struggling with always will be added here in itself. So this is what you are getting: digital study material, handwritten teachers notes, after class recordings of previous classes, etc, etc. So this is just made for you students. I hope you will be enjoying that. Just go try it once, try this feature, and I just hope you are going to love it. Okay, so meet you super soon in the next video. Up till then, bye bye, take care, good night, have a good day, bye bachcha log.